Hello and welcome to Skit Statistics, also known as Skit Stats. Currently, you are looking at its homepage on the Google spreadsheet that I am hosting this on. If you are not on the Google spreadsheet watching this video, somewhere around you should be a link that will take you to this spreadsheet. The rest of this welcome page is pretty bare bones. I have the About section, which reads that I want this to be a resource for anyone interested in cosplay masquerades and cosplay history. If you are a researcher, student, or journalist who wants to use this dataset for an essay, thesis, or article you are writing, feel free. Just be sure to cite it and send me your finished piece. I'd love to read it. However, if you are a panelist at a convention, you may cite this, but don't make it your whole panel. I already have that covered. You can also contact me via email, skitstats@gmail.com with quote reference inquiry as the title if you have questions. Then there are two links currently. There is a link to the FAQ document, and there's also a link to the Blue Sky, which is the only social media that I currently run for Skit Statistics. If that ever changes, I will include the new link to whatever other social media I make, but right now it's just Blue Sky. That's all there is on this intro tab. So next is the By Con tab, which is the main tab I work in and is probably the most useful if you are trying to find skits to watch. This is what the By Con tab looks like. I have conventions organized alphabetically by convention, and then within that, they are organized from earliest to most recent existence of the given convention. So we start with 1990 ACON, and then we just go down the list. And I'm working in alphabetical order to give me some sort of guidance and focus as I go through. So when it comes to reading and understanding this, the first thing to note is in column A, you will see some text that is not hyperlinked and some that is. If the column A text has a hyperlink, that will take you either to a full playlist that somebody else has made that I found and am linking you to, or it will take you to a full video of the entire masquerade that someone recorded and I am now linking you to. If there is not a link in column A, that means that there was not a full video or a full playlist of the entire masquerade for me to link at this point. And so in the cells to the right, column B and beyond, under other, you will see a link there. So that is what that is implying. If you go over here to the right and you see that there is a link in the Trinity Blood cell, but not in this One Piece cell, that means that the Trinity Blood video is actually longer than just the Trinity Blood skit and also includes the One Piece skit and whatever else follows until you reach the next link. So every single performance gets its own cell, and within every cell there is the following information. Media, which is straightforward, what media is presented on the stage. Genre, there is comedy, drama, and music as the main three. There is also W's for walk-ons. Music is probably the broadest category, and it can include live singing, live instrument playing, a press play idol performance, just anything where music is the main focus and there really isn't a narrative. Level, so level, think beginner, intermediate, advanced, novice, journeyman, masters. Different conventions use different terminology, so I have elected to go with novice, journeyman, and masters. Not every convention and not every video actually includes that information. The MCs don't always say it, so I don't always know. So in some cases the level is left blank. Audio. I'm not looking to note every single piece of music to ever have been used at a masquerade. I'm looking more for general trends, so audio may or may not be filled in. Characters is also self-explanatory what characters are on stage. Awards, if it wins any sort of award, I will note it there. Performers, if I happen to know who the performer is, if the MC actually says who the performer is, or if it's noted somewhere, I will include them there. Under Other, as I've already mentioned, there is the link to an individual performance if needed. There are also a handful of other tags I use essentially, and you can actually see one on this Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy XII, and Revolutionary Girl Utena skit that I have a PF, which stands for personal favorite. So those are just so I can find my personal favorites later out of this whole project. But that's everything you need to know on the by con tab. So going on to by year. In this case, it is, as its name would imply, organized by year. So 1990 ACON, and then 1991 we have ACON and AnimeCon, for what I could find. Um, this tab especially I do need to work on making a little bit prettier, but right now it's still usable, but it's the exact same information that is on by con. I've just organized it slightly differently. Moving on to the Formulas tab, if you are somebody who is just interested in numbers, this is the tab for you. So I have just the number of performances at ACON, at Animazement, at Anime America, and so on, going down. And then over here in column A is going across and adding up the number of performances for a given year across conventions that I have seen. These numbers on this page talk to the Graphs tab, so I am actually going to skip drop downs for now and go to Graphs. Hopefully I have named all of these pretty straightforward, so you should be able to figure out what all of these bar graphs are actually talking about and what these pie graphs are also talking about. But again, the Graphs tab talks with the Formulas tab, so like I said, if you just want numbers, those are the tabs you'll want to look for. Eventually, though, formulas and graphs will be expanding significantly once I can get what is on drop downs implemented into bicons. So this is sort of the backside of this project for now. So you can see the complete list of media titles that I have seen represented. Then we do have the genre and we have the levels. So again, novice, journeyman, masters, and then exhibition and youth as they come up. I still need to work on audio, but that's a bit of a project. And then all of the characters that I have seen so far. And then my handful of tags that go under other. So idol, live instrument, live singing, parody, personal favorite, quick change, which is already noted with QC, stage combat, which is also noted with SC, WCS for performances that are trying to represent the United States in World Cosplay Summit. And if there is a proposal on stage, that is also tagged. So one day I would like to replace all of the individual cells with this sort of drop down and then have formulas and graphs to actually track certain things, but that is a work in progress. The last tab is the Extras tab, and there's really not much here. It's just my list of conventions in alphabetical order, of all the work that I still need to do. But I'm having a lot of fun working on it, and I hope you guys are able to get some sort of enjoyment out of it and some sort of benefit out of it as well. So feel free to share the link to this video and to this resource with anyone who you think might appreciate it. And I do host a 2-hour panel about skit stats, provided that, you know, the panel gets in at whatever convention I apply with it. So if you ever see skit stats on the guidebook or whatever for a convention, it's about this project. So I would hope to see you guys there in person if you know, I ever take it to a con that you are attending. But thank you, and I hope that you enjoy poking around on this crazy project of mine.